Hello, everybody. This is Phil Grigsby with the National Weather Service, and here's the weekly weather briefing for Thursday, July 23rd. So, the quick overview, we do have some impacts from Tropical Depression 8 as it moves towards Texas, and with that, we do have a coastal flood advisory that's in effect through 7 p.m. Friday. There's currently two tropical systems in the Atlantic basin that we're looking at. Of course, TD8, which I mentioned previously, which is headed towards Texas. And we also have Tropical Storm Gonzalo, which right now is moving towards the Windward Islands and is not really expected to be much of an impact to our area, at least over the next week. Rainfall amounts are going to be a concern over the weekend. Through early Monday, we could see rainfall of 2 to 4 inches with locally higher amounts possible. And it does actually look like we'll just see a continued rainy pattern even through the remainder of next week. So here's the coastal flood threat for the area. We can see that there's a coastal flood advisory in effect until 7 p.m. tomorrow for areas basically extending from Biloxi all the way over to Lower Terrebonne Parish, and that includes the areas around Lake Pontchartrain. We're expecting to see tide levels about 1 to 2 feet above normal for these areas, which is going to result in minor coastal flooding issues for areas outside of the hurricane protection system. The main impact is going to be some low-lying roads that'll be covered with water that may create accessibility issues for people that live near the coast. Here's the tropical weather outlook. Like I mentioned before, we do have two systems that we're monitoring in the Atlantic Basin. Of course, there's Tropical Depression 8, which is currently moving through the central Gulf of Mexico and is expected to make landfall in Texas on Saturday. The main impact for our area is going to be the higher tides, which I just mentioned, and the higher rainfall amounts through this weekend. Tropical Storm Gonzalo is going to continue to push towards the Windward Islands and is not expected to have any impact to the Gulf Coast at this time. So here's a little more information on Tropical Depression 8. You can see that it is in the central Gulf and it should make landfall Saturday in the morning to early afternoon hours, somewhere near Corpus Christi, Texas, as a tropical storm. The main issue for us is the locally heavy rain bands that could be coming through and the minor coastal flooding along our southeast Louisiana and coastal Mississippi shorelines. So here's the storm total rainfall forecast for the area for this weekend. And you can see that we are saying 2 to 4 inches generally along and south of the I-12, I-10 corridor, with some lighter amounts to the north across southwest Mississippi, generally in the 1/2 inch to 1 inch range up there. And as you get closer to the coast, say down towards Boothville, Port Fourchon, Cocodrie area, rainfall totals could actually be in the 4 to 6 inch range. The main issue with this is that if we get a heavy enough downpour to fall in a short enough amount of time, you could see some localized street flooding issues. That's going to be the main concern over the weekend. And then as we go into next week, it looks like the rainy pattern is going to continue. And so we could see rainfall totals of an additional 1 to 3 inches across the area, with the higher amounts generally across coastal Mississippi and coastal portions of southeast Louisiana. Again, the main concern is if we get a heavy enough rainfall to fall over a short enough period of time, we could see some localized street flooding issues. So a quick summary again. We have coastal flood advisory in effect until 7 p.m. Friday due to minor coastal flooding issues where we could see some flooding, around 1 foot to 2 feet above ground level that could impact some of the low-lying roadways outside of the hurricane protection system. We have the two tropical systems in the Atlantic Basin that we're monitoring. TD8 is going to be the main concern for us as it moves into the western Gulf of Mexico and then into Texas over the next few days. The rainfall amounts could be 2 to 4 inches with locally higher amounts possible through the weekend, and an additional 1 to 3 inches could fall from Monday through Thursday of next week, not associated directly with this, but just general lingering moisture across the area.